for you. Let us talk.
Some shows where older men say, I'm invisible to the community. What advice do you have for someone older who's looking to go back out and start dating again and looking for somebody? Because apparently in the gay community, once you hit 40, you're gone.
Yeah, you know,
in the male gay community. Girls over 40 are hot.
That's right. I have an answer for you. It's really important. Just because you don't want to date you doesn't mean that other people don't want to date you.
I love that. We have a straight girl. What about your experience with internet dating? Is it good or bad or what?
Sure. Yeah. Hi. Well, I'm single right now, so I'm back online. And one of the nice things is because you can sit home and think, oh, I'm the only single person in New York City. And then you put your picture up and 8,000 guys write to you in a week and you think, well, maybe I'm not the only real person. And so it gives you kind of a sense of hope a little bit, like maybe, you know, maybe these 7,999 are not for me, but you know. Anyway, so that's one good thing about it, to know just in your heart, there's tons of single people out there and you're not the only one.
Yeah, I think it's a very good point. There's certainly lots of people who are meeting their partners online, so it's about doing it right and learning your style. I have to say, you know, the lesson I think from that is you have to diversify, right? Just like your portfolio, you've got to fire on all cylinders. So whether it's a matchmaker or your friends, whether it's internet dating, or whether it's meeting somebody at Whole Foods, you have to be sort of open to meeting people wherever. And dating is a courageous act. You know, there's a lot of clients who come to me who think that's just going to happen. And it takes work, and it's kind of a second job. And you have to kind of leave the house every day with open body language and uncross arms and be open to being approached by people or be ready to approach. And so just, I think firing on all cylinders is a really critical thing. But I agree with you, that hope can...
I'm reading this book, it's called The Manly Art of Seduction.
Oh, Lord.
Read it. No, I'm serious. The great part about it is that it's for single people, it's for people that are in relationships, it's the whole 9 yards. And the very first part of that book talks about the courage that it takes to be that open, and the valor that it takes to be that open to be able to meet people.
Yeah, so that book is written by this great guy named Perry Brass. I don't know if anybody knows Perry Brass, but it's an amazing book. And he speaks in the very early in the book about valor and sort of the absence of valor in today's society. Valor being sort of the attitude of connection and control of our own actions, right? As a predecessor to brave acts. And there's something really powerful about making the first move and being okay with what might happen, right? Like a no might be on the other side. The great news is that oftentimes there's not a no on the other side, right? So just so I help clients kind of step through those risks.
I love that.
There's a clear difference between flirting and cruising, right? And for the straight women in the room. So flirting is catching eyes 3 times. Right?
Thank you!
Catching eyes 3 times.
Thank you!
And then approaching.
What if you catch once and they lock?
That's called staring.
Because there were certain people in this room that had never heard about the 3 times.
Okay, so catching eye 3 times.
Catching eye 3 times, and you approach. So it's either it's got to be one of you that approaches, right? So one of you needs to work up the valor to do it. And you know what? The fact is, there's nothing sexier. You disagree with me, than being nervous and vulnerable.
Oh my God.
It's so cute. It's adorable, right? And just say, I think you're really cute. I know we caught eyes a couple of times. Just in case you're interested, here's my number.
You know, if I may interject, my mother, when I grew up, I was raised very, about meeting boys and all of that. And I had 3 rules too that my mother taught me, and it was, girls don't chase boys, let them call you, and relax the throat. That's funny. My mom's advice. I love my mom. My mom's advice was to make sure I kept my shirt on, because apparently I was playing shirts and skins past the appropriate age.
What I found frustrating about internet dating is that there seemed to be instant gratification now. Everyone was into like instant results. When are we going to do this? When are we, what is happening with this? I've been in a relationship for almost 5 years, and we were friends for 2 years before that, and it was a gradual thing. Whatever happened to gradual?
Romantic.
And this is my question: is there a place for that on the internet? Because I didn't find it.
I think being very clear about what it is that you want in a relationship online is critical. You know, you can check those boxes, but those open areas where you can just write your own stuff, that is important to be able to say, I'm looking to build a friendship with someone and over a long term, and so that people can be very clear about that. But I agree with you that the best relationships oftentimes are ones that have a strong foundation, that are built on friendships. I always say to clients, so it's just a little graphic, but I always say, you know, relationships are built on sharing food, fun, and friendship, and not fluids. And I know that's a little graphic, but it's true, and it's the way that relationships get built, and it takes time to do that. And so
Well, it's funny, because when Frank and I first met, and we've been together a very long time, we did not sleep with each other for a month and a half.
Ooh, shocking. In New York, by the way, people outside of New York rate to have sex a little bit. It's okay.
We didn't pass that test.
That's okay.
I just wanted, I was bummed, and I say this to Shani now, that we're actually a couple. My tactic, while I didn't know I had one, actually worked brilliantly. We were both really attracted to each other, and I was very aware of the fact that she was married, and that I was also in a relationship, so I wasn't flirting with her. But we were very attracted to each other, and we knew it, and we were spending gobs of time together. And finally, a couple of drinks into a late night, and I flirted with her, and then I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I totally crossed the line. That was inappropriate of me. I will never do that again. And her response was, I kind of like that. You can do that again if you want. Hello. And now I can never use that again. Yeah, I can never use that again. So any of you single people, go for that. Do it. They're gonna love
What
it.
would you tell them to go home?
How to approach.
Honestly, practice. Practice. And to your point, you actually sort of said my last thought, which is, this is going to sound wrong, but when I coach all of my clients, sometimes I bring in thirds. And
See, a threesome. That's not a threesome.
But it is practicing on other people about approach, how to ask people out on a date, how to flirt, how to have conversations on a date. And you can practice on your friends, you can practice with a coach, you can practice with whoever. But it is possible to meet people at work and at Whole Foods. And I know that it seems impossible now, but it isn't an impossible. Know what it is that you want. You can't identify the person or the relationship until you know what the relationship or what you want is. And I'm constantly, with clients who, I'm like, well, what is it that you want in a relationship? They go, I don't know, I just want them to be 5'6" and have a full head of hair and a big cock. And I'm like, that's not enough, I need more to go on. And so to know that you want your relationship to be based on trust, and that you want to have a family, and that your values are this, if you know that, then when it happens, you know this is the relationship for you, and that this person can fulfill it. And I'm telling you that when you can vision, this is getting a little coaching, but if you can vision what it is that you want, the universe will pop those kind of people in front of you all over the place. It's up to you to sort of pick which one you're sexually attracted to, and you just have to stay very open and keep your eye, be very aware. And that's what I help people do, is just capture everything and make sure that you're aware all the time.
Great, thank you.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Strong.
Fabulous.
It's up for you.